Hello everybody, this is Kay. Thank you for joining me here today on my channel, Gigi's Paper Treasures. I am going to do a flip through of what I've done for prompts 8 through 15 of Junk Journal January 2026. This is a project hosted by Debbie at Ink and Page, and I'll put the link to her channel below if you're interested in checking it out. I mean, I think you can join in at any time and still get all the printables, and she puts a video out for each prompt as well. And I already did a video for prompts 1 through 7, so I'll link that video below too. But for today, I'm going to do 8 through 15. And I am using it's a wedding guest book is what I'm using for my Junk Journal January this year. And I actually have 2 of these, and so I'm going to use both of them because I've only done 15 days, and I mean, this is full. I can't even open the rings anymore without like 5 pages falling out. So I have 2 of these I picked up at a thrift store, and so I'm going to put I'm actually going to put day 16 on the last page in here, and then I'm going to do days 17 through 31 in this one, and somehow add like a part 1 and part 2 to my covers. But I'm going to run through what I've done for days 8 through 15 today, and I hope you enjoy this. I hope you get inspired, and like I said, feel free to jump in and join in, and you don't have to stay caught up. I've gotten behind a couple of times. You can always catch up later or work on it into February if you need to. But I'm going to show you day 8. Now, the prompt for day 8 was hidden, and what I have on this side is hidden tags that are on this side of the page. And they're hidden because you make slots in your backing card, and you make these tags with the butterfly toppers to slide down in there. The topper keeps it from going all the way in and getting stuck in or lost down in there, but you can't see the tags when those are in there like that. So I thought that was a pretty neat idea. This is the first time I've ever seen or done that, and I'm wanting to explore that concept some more, and maybe do something like that in some of my other journals that I make from now on. But this is day 8, hidden. I just did a little cluster of some texture pieces down in here to fill in kind of that empty space. And then there was a bunch of extra ephemera with this day, so I just made a little shallow pocket, mostly tags that I just stuck into that pocket for day 8. And day 9 was pocket, so you have like a double slant pocket on this side, and then I made another little pocket on this side. She provided some really beautiful fussy cuts and tags, and this is actually a pocket tag, so it's a pocket in this pocket. And she just is giving us a lot of different ephemera throughout this whole project to include in these journals, and it's just, I'm having such a good time. I put a couple of toppers on this, and then I used some of my punch-out alphabet punch-outs up there just to label this page, this spread. I didn't, do that on every page. I tried to put the number on each one, but not necessarily the title, but I had like a kind of blank area up there, so that's what I decided to do on that one. Okay, page 10 is lace, and she provided lots of different like lace images for the edges of pages. And what I did here was I did like several layers. There's my number 10. I mean, this 2-page spread has a ton of writing space, and I put pockets behind them for the extra ephemera and extra lace pieces that I didn't use. And I also used some of my own crochet lace and lace here, and these beautiful lady images kind of mirroring each other. And I put a magnet in here. This was an afterthought because before I did that, these pages were just popping open quite a bit. So I made a little belt type of closure and put magnets there to help just hold all these pages down. And this side is the same thing. I put a pocket back there, tons of writing space, all edged with some of the lace that Debbie provided and then some of my own crochet lace. I used lace here with the brown paper and sewed and used those pretty ladies there for that spread. Okay, page 11, yep, page 11, or prompt 11, excuse me, is fabric. So I made a fabric pocket. I used some fabric tags, toppers, and then she had in the kit, she had these little swatch cards, and I just went to my fabric stash and picked out some different fabrics to use. And then on the very back, I put one of the writing spots so there's space for journaling. And then these were kind of popping open, so I used some of these baby paper clips on the top. There's 3 of these all together. That's one of them, and here's the other 2. And I've just used all different fabrics. I don't think I repeated any of my fabrics. I was trying to use all different fabrics from my scrap box for this prompt. I did use the same fabric here to make my pocket, but I guess that's okay. Okay, so let me, I decorated one of these tags with one of the images and some threads back there. This is a corner pocket I made. Oh, and I wanted to mention also that, since I'm doing a kind of an odd shape pages in my journal here, I have a lot of offcuts. So what I've been doing with those is just kind of masterboarding them onto pages and then cutting them into different things. And here's a corner pocket on top of, this is kind of like a double layered corner pocket here that I made out of some of that kind of masterboard. Let me show you what I mean. Here's a couple journal cards that I haven't put in anywhere yet. So I'm just taking my offcuts and cutting some of them down into narrower strips and gluing them onto a piece of cardstock as a backing, and then cutting them into different shapes. Down here on the pocket with the number 11, I just made a little cluster with some other scraps of fabric. This is just cheesecloth under here. And so this is day 11 fabric. Day 12 is ribbon. And I did one of these, Debbie did something similar in hers, kind of a shoelace ribbon enclosure thingy, and I did too. Mine's a little different than hers, but I used some just kind of cream colored organza ribbon and some eyelets over here in the edges. I hinged these 2 pieces on so that, let me get this all undone here, so that they could open like this. And I put an envelope in here, which made a pocket. I also left it open on the back here for a pocket. And then I just used some of my crochet lace at the bottom and a couple of the fussy cuts. Oh, and here's one of those tags that I made with my backing of my offcuts and some of the fussy cuts, and put a ribbon topper on that. So I'll go back and I also kind of glued my ribbon underneath my lace here so that it wouldn't come out and get lost. But it is kind of fiddly to lace it all back up. So I'm going to do that after I finish making this video. And then over here, I just made a couple of little vellum envelopes. They have a magnetic closure in them. And then this day's printables also included a couple of little envelopes, and I put a Velcro closure on those and a couple of little pieces of ephemera in each one of those. So I made envelopes for my envelopes for day 12. And same thing over here, magnetic closure. I'm not going to pull that out right now, but it's just another one of the little envelopes from the kit. And the number 12 with some paper ribbon, actually, that I sewed on my sewing machine up there. So I will come back and lace this back up later. My idea for this was that I wouldn't have to untie it. I could pull things in and out of the pocket without untying it, but I wanted to be able to, and also to be able to show you how that was put together. So that was day 12. Ribbon, you can see how full my journal is getting. I've just got I think these are like 1-inch rings on this, so that's why I'm going to have to use 2 different journals for Junk Journal January. Okay, day 13. Okay, I lost my number 13. So I made one with some big stamps that I have here on this label to put on this spread. And it was tape. Tape was the prompt. And so like Debbie did in hers, only she had some other images, I chose this picture of me and my mother. It's been laying around on my desk for a while. And, excuse me, my next page is getting all bunched up. And this was taken probably 20 years ago or more. I know I recognize the house that this was taken in. I don't live in this house anymore. I think I was about 40 or so, maybe my late 30s when this picture was taken. And then I just decided to journal a little bit about this picture. My mom went to be with the Lord in 2014, but I needed to do something with this photo before it got, ruined, just sitting out here on my desk. So that was day 13. Day 14, I really kind of went overboard with my spread, I think, because I have a ton of buttons, and that's what the prompt was, is buttons. So I made buttons. These backing buttons came with the kit, and then I used real buttons, and I stamped and punched out and laminated the letters for the word buttons. And I put this is a die cut of one of my little background pieces that I made out of my strips of a heart and a little dangly here. And I kind of left this open in case I wanted to take my dangly off and add to it. And then on this side, I just used some fabric in the background. I edged the edge of this with just all kinds of different colors of buttons. This is the button card she included with the kit, and I could not find 15 of the same exact buttons in my big box of buttons, so I used a variety of buttons, and I made another little dangly out of some of the pieces from the kit and a button here just hanging on a bulb pin. So this was probably, of this week's prompts, one of the most time-consuming for me. Okay, and then this is day 15. Now I'm not quite done because the prompt is label, and so each one of these has a label. Here they are right here. And what she provided was kind of a title of a few of my favorite things. And what Debbie did was she chose like fabric and washi tape and stamps to put in her little slide pieces for her favorite things. But what I've decided to do is put my 5 grandchildren in here. I'm going to print out small photos of each one of them. I have 5, and put them in here. And then she also gave us little journaling cards, and I'm going to write something about each one of my precious grandbabies on that card and put their name on the label on the front of these. And that's why I didn't complete this yet, because I didn't want to put I didn't want to put their photos up there without asking my daughter and daughter-in-law, and also I didn't want to put their names online like that. So I will be finishing this up later, but that was my idea for day 15. I also included one of my little die-cut hearts with some rhinestones there and the word loved, because I do love them very, very much. And then I am going to put day 16 on the back of this. Day 16 is a frame, and I think that I can just do one page with that. If I have extra stuff, I always have this envelope on the back cover that I can tuck extra things into. But I'm just going to try and do a one-page spread for day 16. Day 16. And I'll be showing you that in my next video. That'll be coming out probably in another week or so. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this showing of my days 8 through 15 of Junk Journal January 2026. And if you are participating in this project, I hope you got some ideas and inspiration from this video, and I hope you have a blessed day.